So you are the first naturalized CEO in a Korean government-run company.
Yeah,
so could you explain a bit about that?
Yeah, well, I mean, I came to Korea about 31 years ago from Germany.
Germany.
Yeah, and originally I wanted to stay only 6 months, but I liked it, and I stayed a little longer, and a little longer, and a little longer. Now it's become 31 years, and I've become a Korean citizen 23 years ago, actually, in 1986. Before I married a Korean lady, so I have a Korean family also.
Okay.
And I've done many things in Korea, mostly business consultant, but also I worked in the media as a reporter like you sometimes, or a moderator, or an actor in a soap operas and so on. Yeah. So some of the Korean dramas that are popular all over Asia, I played also some role in that. One that's quite popular was Stairway to Heaven. Maybe did it show here?
Yeah, it did show here, but I didn't really follow it. But
that was very popular in Japan or in China or in some other countries. Very popular. So many people recognize me on the street when I go there. But also, I worked as a consultant to government agencies, among others, the tourism industry or the tourism ministry for many years. And I got to know Mr. Lee Myung-bak, who's the president now of Korea, when he was still working for Hyundai, when he was still a businessman. And then when he became the mayor of Seoul, I worked with him as a consultant and as an honorary ambassador for the city of Seoul, because at the time I was mostly active in the media. And so I got to know him personally. And he knows about me, and he knows that I have many ideas in many areas, especially culture and tourism. So he suggested that I get this job, and about 4 months ago, the government appointed me as the first non-born Korean-born, man to become head of the tourism organization.
So are you more German or are you more Korean now?
I think I'm more Korean because I've lived longer in Korea than I've lived in Germany. But I'm still German. I'll always be German, but I'm also 100% Korean. So inside I'm all Korean. Yeah, sure. I don't know. What do you speak perfect Korean?
Sometimes better than us.
Okay, so could you tell us your vision? I mean, since you're newly appointed to develop and promote Korean tourism.
Yes. Well, I think Korea has a huge potential in tourism. It's just the beginning to show, because Korea has a wonderful nature, a natural environment. There's 4 seasons. For many of the Asian countries, including Malaysia. And just the fact that there's 4 distinct seasons, is very attractive. Just the nature. It has a very attractive culture, thousands of years of history. The attractive culture is, very much like in Malaysia or in Singapore. You have a mix of many cultures, like Buddhism and Confucianism and Christianity and a little bit of Islam and a lot of Taoism and indigenous Korean religions. That come together to make up a very multifaceted kind of culture, and a culture that's very open in a way. I think it's not an accident that the Korean government appointed somebody like me to a government position, which is a very unusual thing. Like in Germany, in my home country, my original home country, there is many more foreigners living in the society, and many more people have become German, one generation. There's millions of Germans that have come from other countries, but Germany doesn't have even one in the government. All Germans, and the German society is not open yet to allow this kind of multicultural kind of thing. So.
Sorry for it. caught up in the traffic, sorry.
No problem. Thank you very much.
And then Mr. Kim look after the tourism here in Malaysia. Mr. John.
From HH. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So do we continue? So you're going to do we continue?
No, you carry on.
Yeah,
Continue.
So, Mr. Chan.
Yeah, thank you for taking time. Huh? Yeah. So that's so the society is very open, and I think it's the starting. So all of these elements that are traditionally in the culture now come together to create some kind of a very fascinating fusion kind of culture, which you can see in the modern culture, like when you see the Korean dramas or the Korean music, K-pop, and so that's all basically a result of thousands of years of history of fusing many different elements together, creating something new. So it's very fascinating. So for tourism, that means there's so many aspects that are very attractive, and that are potential tourism marketing tools. Yeah? So you have the culture, you have the history, you have the nature, you have the modern urban culture, yeah? You have the modern performing culture, performing arts. You have the food, which is a coming, the next coming thing, I think. Yeah? Because Korean food is what I call energy food. Yeah? It's not just health food; it's energy food. It gives you a lot of energy. Yeah? After you eat a Korean meal, you feel up. Yeah? It's kind of, and it doesn't make you heavy. It doesn't make you feel heavy. It's easy to digest.
That's right.
And it's very healthy. But it's not just healthy; it's actually energizing. So that's the main point, I think, for the Korean food, and that's why I think it'll gain in popularity now already. In the States or in Europe, people beginning to understand the real, fascination of Korean food, and they are incorporating the elements of Korean food into other cuisines. So that's the point, and I think where it really will become interesting. Other foods, like Italian food, for example. Italian food is so successful all over the world, I think, because it always adapts to local cultures. Like pizza, everybody knows pizza all over the world, but wherever pizza goes, it changes, And some of the local food goes in, and so you have whatever pizza, in Korea we have kimchi pizza, for example. But the reason why Italian food is so popular because it adapts to that culture and it can take on and still keep some identity. Yeah? So with Korean food it's the same. Like for example bibimbap. Yeah? Bibimbap has a very distinct identity, with the different elements. You have like 5 tastes and 5 colors and so on. And you have the hot rice and the cool vegetables, and you have the crunchy stuff, and you have the soft stuff, and the different textures that make it interesting to eat, and you can mix it around, you can play with it, and you can put some really spicy stuff in or not so spicy. So you can create multitude of variations of bibimbap, just with the same concept, but it'll always have the identity of bibimbap. So I think Korean food has many dishes like that can be constantly renewed and constantly added something new, but still have the same identity. So I think it's just beginning now, but in the future, these kind of dishes will become very popular all over the world. And so that's all very, very positive for tourism.